What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today, my friends, we have another Fortnite video, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going ahead and having a look and ranking every single season in Fortnite from worst to best. I put a poll up on my community tab on YouTube, and I asked for you guys to vote for your favorite season in Fortnite. The results are in, ladies and gentlemen, and it's actually a very interesting result. We had about 500 of you guys vote, which is insane. And yeah, let's go ahead and without waiting longer, let's get into the results. And if you guys do go ahead and enjoy this video, make sure you do smash the like button as well, subscribe to the channel, and also chuck on that notification bell to stay up to date with all of my videos coming in the future of the channel. And anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without waiting longer, let's go ahead and begin right now in the last spot. Alright, so this list is actually unlike any other video I've done before because we actually have a couple, and I mean a couple of ties. Like spots that got the exact same amount of votes. And, our last spot on the list is actually tied as well. I was kind of surprised that you guys voted one of these ones really low, and this is tied between Season 1 in Fortnite and also Chapter 2 Season 1. Now, both of these had 1% of the total votes, and yeah, I understand why Season 1 was the last one. So basically the criteria that I asked you guys to vote on was just altogether the skins that released in the season, the final events and the events throughout the season, and also the gameplay of the season, the mechanics that were added in during the season. Now, Season 1, I get why it was last because, there wasn't really any events, there wasn't many skins released, so I can get why that was last. However, Chapter 2 Season 1 did kind of surprise me. I thought it would be a little bit higher, as I thought this season, I think the gameplay mechanics, this was when really I stopped playing Fortnite altogether because I really didn't like the gameplay mechanics. I didn't like it too much. It was a brand new map, which I think, it was one of the most innovative seasons. Definitely, it probably was definitely the most innovative season. However, I just think the innovations they made really just weren't the best. I wasn't the biggest fan of them, and it seems like you guys also weren't the biggest fan of the changes in, Chapter 2, Season 2. So yeah, that's our last spot there, tied between Season 1 and also Chapter 2, Season 1. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Fortnite Season X, or Fortnite Season 10, as the second last spot on the list. Now, this one was a bit of a step up from, the last spot on the list had 1% of the votes, and Season 10 got 4.2% of the votes, and, this is our second lowest rated season here. Now, I think the downfall I found with the Season 10, the event was really amazing. It was one of the most, engaging events in Fortnite, the Black Hole event, where basically the servers just shut down for ages. It's something that we've never seen before. It was a crazy event. And, although it wasn't, big and flashy like some of the other events, it was pretty damn crazy because no one knew what was happening. I really loved the event. However, I think the downfall of the season was the skins in the Battle Pass specifically, and also I think the gameplay mechanics weren't the best as well. The skins were basically just remakes of old skins, and for me, they were just worse versions of old skins. I did like some of the skins, in the Battle Pass, but, they weren't the best overall, I think. And, innovation-wise, it wasn't really there. Wasn't the best season, and, a lot of you guys did agree with that as well. Alright, guys, so next up, we have Fortnite Season 6. Fortnite Season 6, for me, was probably the season that, I think, it was really hyped up. So this was the season, the last season was all the cube stuff, Season 5. We had all that cube stuff going on. This was probably one of the most hyped seasons because, we had the cube, everyone was streaming the cube, everyone wanted to know what was going on. And, for me, this season, it kind of just really, I don't know, I think it ruined the map as we know it. It changed the game a lot. But I think for me, it kind of ruined, a lot of the OG things, which, back then it was a good change up. But, looking back on it now, it's like, man, they kind of, this is when the map just started going absolutely crazy, and, there was so much stuff changing, it was really weird. But, I thought, the event in this was pretty cool. Well, it was more like the Season 5 event. Well, what happened with the map, I thought it was pretty cool to start with, but looking back on it, not the best. However, the Battle Pass skins were pretty good, and yeah, as I said, Season 6 had 5.4% of the votes. And, I think this was a solid season for the Battle Pass. We had some really nice skins in it. And, of course, we had the Direwolf skin, which came with I don't even remember what it was called, the Wolfpack back bling. How do I forget that? Yeah, we had that. The Duskwings as well was in the battle pass. It was a solid battle pass. And yeah, overall, not the best season, but definitely not as bad as some of the other ones on the list. Now, next up, we have, with 5.6% of the votes, Chapter 2, Season 2. This is the current season that we are in at the moment. And yeah, for me, I really haven't played much of this season at all, so I really can't talk about my experience too much. Fortnite, I just can't really play it anymore. Like, all my friends have stopped playing it, and, I really only get on and play Team Rumble a couple times. I don't really play the game too often, and, the game's kind of lost me a little bit. And, I just feel that Season 2, I'm hoping maybe Chapter 2, Season 3 will bring back some of the stuff that I love about the game, but at the moment, this season for me is just not as enjoyable as some of the other seasons. I think this season is actually, what I do like about it is definitely, some of the customization with all of the Battle Pass skins. I reckon the Battle Pass skins are actually really great this season. Also, everything to do with Deadpool was really, really cool as well, which is another thing that I did like in the season. So I definitely don't think, it should be as lower on the list. I kind of do like where it is. And, I definitely don't think it's one of the better seasons that we've ever had. But, I do like the skins in it. The gameplay is probably not my favorite. But, it's in the middle of the list. And, yeah, I would have to agree. Alright, guys, next up we actually have another tie. And this is actually Season 8 and Season 9. They're both on 6.7%. And it is the next Battle Pass, or basically the next seasons on our list. Season 8 had some really nice skins. We have what I think is one of the most underrated tier 100 skins, the Lux. I really do like the Lux. It was cool. The Peely, another memorable skin from Season 8. Also, if we go to Season 9 as well, Season 9, I wasn't the biggest fan of the skins in this Battle Pass. I think it had, the skins weren't really my favorite. There wasn't really many memorable ones. There's none that I really used. We have the Vendetta skin, the Sentinel, the Rocks. I didn't mind the Rock skin. I thought that was cool. But other than that, it was a pretty, mediocre season. I think both of these seasons were definitely mediocre, which is, once again, while they're around the middle of the list. I didn't mind Season 8, actually. Season 8, I don't think I played too much again. But I did like it because it was kind of like the I don't even know. It was when we first saw the desert part of the map come in and stuff. And, it was kind of like desert pirate themed, kind of. And, yeah, honestly, man, this season's, definitely mediocre and coming in at the middle of the list. All right, now we're definitely getting to some pretty good seasons, a lot better seasons here. Next up, guys, we have another tie. You wouldn't believe it. This is the last tie that we have here, but we have Season 7 and Season 2 actually tied together on 10%. I think Season 2, it's got that nostalgia factor to it. A lot of people loved playing back then. That was when I probably played the game some of the most I played it. It was definitely one of the most enjoyable seasons for me. I played it so much. And I think these are both the Christmas seasons, I think, because Season 7 was, the winter theme, the holiday season kind of that went over the holidays. We had, a lot of memorable skins in that one, and some skins that I still use today. And the Ice King was the tier 100 skin, which probably not my favorite tier 100 skin, if I'm going to be completely honest, but, it is what it is. But there was definitely a bunch of other really good skins that did release as well in that Battle Pass. Of course, there was Planes that we first saw, which was one of the most controversial things in the game during Season 7. And also, I think Season 2, it didn't really have many events and stuff, but I think, it was just the nostalgia. The gameplay in Season 2 was some of the best gameplay, I reckon. It was just so fun. I think that's when Double Pump was starting to come around and stuff, and, Season 2 was so fun. I think Season 7 gameplay-wise as well, I thought was really great, other than, of course, the planes. The planes were very, very annoying, and I still get PTSD from them planes flying around and just being insanely OP in the game. Okay, so the third best season in Fortnite at 12.3% of the votes is going to be Fortnite Season 5. Now, Season 5, I think it was I think it was about almost a couple months until it was a year ago that we actually saw this season. I think this season had some of the best skins going around, if I'm going to be completely honest, that we had. Season 5 skins that we saw, we had, I believe this was the Drift. This was the Drift. We had the Drift. we had the Rook, we had the Redline, we had the Ragnarok. We had some great skins come out in this season. And yeah, overall, I think, you know, it wasn't as good as the 2 seasons that came before it. However, you know, it was still a great season, and I think this was prime Fortnite. Season 3, 4, and 5 were the best Fortnite had ever been. Season 5 introduced rifts, and you know, it was a really creative season, a really fun season to play in, and definitely some great memories that did come into that. And one of the best things about Season 5, of course, was all the hype surrounding the cube. The cube was going around the map. Everyone wanted to know what the cube meant, what was happening with the cube, and you know, so many great memories from this season in Fortnite. Now, you guys voted this next spot with 13.4% as your favorite season. This is definitely my favorite season, and guys, this is Fortnite Season 3 in the number 2 spot. Fortnite Season 3 was just the funnest season for me. It was really just, it was the peak for me. This was just absolutely amazing. The hype for Season 3 was absolutely insane, and I think, you know, it's especially more, a lot more nostalgic for me, because this is when my channel really started to grow a lot, and this was some of the most fun I've ever had in Fortnite. And of course, this is the season we saw John Wick. The skins really started to, you know, become a big part of Fortnite. We had the Elite Agent as well, a bunch of amazing skins. You know, also just so many fun gameplay mechanics were getting added in, so many fun new items were getting added in as well, which made Season 3 one of the best seasons, I think, ever in Fortnite. And finally, guys, in the number 1 spot, which, you know, won by a fair bit of a margin with 23.4%, a 10% increase in votes from our number 2 spot. This is Season 4, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Season 4 again. This is when my channel started to really blow up. And this season as well, it's definitely, you know, on par, or probably maybe a little bit less than Season 3, but Season 3, this season was truly amazing. Of course, we had our first customizable skins. We had so many great skins in this season, and man, who could forget the Omega skin as well? One of the best Battle Pass skins still to date, some amazing styles. And also, of course, this season was also around, you know, I think it was when one of the Marvel Avengers movies was releasing. We could play as Thanos in this season. Thanos was one of the best, you know, things to play as. It was so fun, and the hype was so real in this season. And overall, just gameplay, everything wise, events, you know, it was just an amazing season. This is also when we lost Dusty Depot, and it went to Dusty Divot as well. Overall, just a great season. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go ahead and conclude the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Gone through a bit of a trip back in time. And anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I'll see you all in the next one, and peace out.